Hi everybody, Matt Bernier here in the Daily Racing Form Studios, joined by DRF's national handicapper Mike Watchmaker. We're taking a look at this weekend's Weekend Warrior for March the 11th. Let's start off down at Tampa Bay. We've got the Tampa Bay Derby. It's for the 3-year-olds. It's a prep, obviously. 50 Derby points are awarded, Kentucky Derby points, I should say, to the winner. You've got a field of 10 signed on in here. Mike, you got a handful of them exiting the local prep, the Sam F. Davis. You like one of them, and that's the 9 Wild Shot.
Yeah, Matt, I thought Wild Shot had by far the worst trip of horses that ran well in the Sam Davis Center back in this race. Wild Shot was caught 4 wide on the first turn. He was 4 to 5 wide on the far turn. I actually thought he moved too soon on the far turn as well. And yet he still had the lead inside the 8th pole before understandably weakening, considering the trip he had and also the fact that he was coming off a 2.5-month layoff. This is a horse that 2 starts back was beaten only a little bit more than a length by McCracken, who I have as the favorite for the future book favorite for the Kentucky Derby and Derby Watch. And McCracken was the winner of the Sam Davis. I just think second time back with a more judicious ride, with a different pace set up this time around, I think Wild Shot has a big chance to turn the tables on the horses that finished in front of him in the Sam Davis.
You have those other horses exiting the Sam Davis, the 4 other runners to be exact. You also have a couple of new shooters in the 6 Beasley and the 7 Sonic Mule. Outside of Wild Shot, who were you interested in using as far as exotics are concerned?
Well, I took a long look at Beasley in this race. Beasley ran the best race of his life last time, went second in a 2-turn allowance race at Gulfstream to Battalion Runner, who's a well-regarded top pleasure trained horse who's pointing to the Florida Derby. Beasley was entered in last week's Fountain of Youth. He scratched. He impressed everyone with a big workout for this race, and I think he's dangerous in here. The concern I had with him is that I think there's going to be a lot of activity up front in this race. I think the pace is going to be somewhat destructive, and Beasley, by all indication, is a horse that at least going long wants to be close to the pace. I think we'd be remiss not to mention Tappert, who's going to be the favorite in this race. He finished second in the Sam Davis to McCracken, who obviously is not in this race. He was pointing to this race, but he came up with a minor ankle injury. He's now back in training, and he's pointing to the Bluegrass. I didn't think Tappert really ran all that well in Sam Davis, even though he had finished in front of my pick, Wild Shot. He also finished in front of State of Honor and finished third in the Sam Davis. I mean, he had a very easy trip. He sat on the rail, and he angled out in the stretch, and he kind of sucked along to finish second, whereas State of Honor carved out the pace, and Wild Shot had that wide trip and moved too soon. I thought Tappert had by far the best trip of those horses, and I wouldn't fall off my chair if he won, but he's the kind of favorite that I would be playing against all day long.
Interesting race 11 Saturday afternoon down at Tampa Bay Downs. The Grade 2 Tampa Bay Derby, a mile and 16th on the main track for the 3-year-olds. 50 Kentucky Derby qualifying points to winner. Mike, you're going to go with the number 9 Wild Shot for Rusty Arnold and Robbie Alvarado. We're going to take a break. The second race for this weekend's Weekend Warrior. We're going to go around to Oaklawn Park. The 3-year-old fillies, they'll be contesting the Honeybee.